I think every member of my team is a hero. I think they've done a wonderful job and I'm so proud of them. I think they should be proud of themselves.
On the 9th of August, the women from Trowbridge Rugby Club were at a regular training session when they heard a car come off the road. This is their story.
We came into training 7:30 as we usually do, getting towards the end of our run-throughs, and there was just a shake and just a rubble, and we heard the grit go on the side of the road, and we were like, oh, something's obviously happened. We kind of assumed it would be a tractor that's just sort of grazed through, but there was music that was playing.
Literally, just as one, we just ran across that field. We went from 2 pitch worth of distance and ran across to the tree line, jumped over the 2 barbed wire fences into the stinging nettles. The people who aren't physically able to jump over the fence, we sort of body crawled through the bushes and crawled ourselves to the other side. That's when we found a car on its side. There were 4 passengers in the car.
Emma our manager was there first. She kind of got people into groups. I wasn't one of the last, but kind of by the time I got there was set groups.
The initial shock was so intense. Once we got there and we had Emma and a couple other people who have been in that situation before who just kept their cool and were able to put us where we need to be in order to help them.
I saw some blankets and stuff in the boot, so we just pulled all the blankets out, laid it on the floor, led him down. He didn't want to lie down because he was in pain and said he couldn't breathe, so one of our coaches sat on the floor with his legs split and had the driver led up against him and supporting his neck, while another player was holding his elbow and the other player was holding his arm above heart rate because he was bleeding. And that's when I said I need stuff I need bandages, I need bibs. So people whipped off t-shirts, I whipped off bibs. We put pressure onto it. We needed something to stop the bleeding a little bit more. So we tried to make a tourniquet out of bib. It wasn't enough, so we used shoelaces wrapped in a ripped shirt, pulled it around and used a stick to tighten it.
Supported someone's head, and then we had obviously a couple of our team helping to calm members down that weren't injured as much. And then we had obviously the gent who was led on the floor. He had four or five of us supporting him.
If we could see that a teammate was getting tired from supporting the necks or the guy's arms, then we would just switch naturally, or we would communicate, which is what we do on the pitch, and just kind of keep it rolling and keeping it steady and just doing what we were being told by our manager and by the paramedics when they arrived as well.
So we took a step back, but they needed just hands-on. So we helped cut off clothes, we helped hold IVs, we helped lift off the ground onto the gurneys, and then we gave statements to the police, and we started filtering out once the driver had gone. Filtering out, came back to the clubhouse, and that's when the 2-3 players that came back here to let them know did a lot of emotional support.
Some players were affected, and it was just nice to know that you've got the support from everyone else, as well as our coaches and managers, but just your teammates who are also experiencing what we're experiencing and just learning how to deal with it mentally as well.
Really nice to see when their family came, when their family were called, for them to come through and be so appreciative of the team, and obviously with the recognition that we got is amazing. To know that people not only appreciate us as rugby players, but as helping the community as well.
No one second guessed, no one considered not helping. We just flew together and we just naturally split like you do when you have your backs and forwards in rugby, you have your pods. We just split naturally over the fence to get there first. The people who could do it, we came through second, and then we had a pod for each passenger for both ends of the road, going back for our stuff, going back to call for an ambulance. It's just naturally, that teamwork just naturally developed, and I'm so proud of the team.
It is nice to think that we can work as a team on the field, on the pitch, as well as we can somewhere else.
It doesn't matter where you are, who you play for or what you do, you're just going to get in there and try and help as much as you can.